Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the origins of Mr. McFly and where and how he kind of came alive to us on the show. So this, of course, is from the episode Emo Like the Wolf Stank, formerly known as Emo Like the Wolf Thorn. The name came from a deodorant antiperspirant that James was using. And the whole idea for this episode came from a great writer named Nick Lopez, who probably some of his work from writing for Good Mythical Morning on YouTube. He was doing that when we first met him and worked with him. And kid you not, he actually came in day one of the Writer Summit and pitched the idea that James rubs antiperspirant all over his body because he doesn't know how to use it, and then starts sweating out his eyes. And we were like, that's crazy. We love it. Let's figure out how to make this into a story. And of course, it becomes about James seeing that all his friends have a thing. Maz has got the goth and the look and the fashion. Max has his competitive feeling squad, which of course is what James tries to get involved with here when he's recruited heavily by McFly. So a lot of you have asked, what's up with McFly? Why is he so angry? So, with this show, we really wanted to do characters that had depth to them. We didn't want them to be the same old kid show kind of surface characters. And, anyone who's always as upbeat as McFly, you always kind of get a sense that maybe there's a little something repressed behind there. And McFly, as we see throughout the show, works really hard, doesn't get a lot of money or anything back for it. He gets the joy of seeing his students succeed, of course. But as we see in the breaking and entering episode where James is turned into a phone and Mr. McFly gets fired for grossing out students and has to drive a ride share. He's got a lot of anger and a lot of energy to be released. And when it's triggered, look out. And apparently, Smooth Jason really does something for him. So that is Mr. McFly. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about Gary. So if we back up a little and you see Gary in the booth. So Gary, so you hear that kind of little gargle and that, grit in his voice. So that is something that is pure Gary. I mean, he is just Gary Anthony Williams is one of the most talented voice actors I've ever worked with. You've heard his voice on a million different shows. And he really helped bring McFly to life. Like, we needed someone who would be able to come in and hit the, morning James, like he does in the episode that I wrote, The Boy with Two Brains, where Stuart goes inside of James at the end, but would also be able to just completely do a 180 and become this insanely enraged person. But of course, we didn't want him to be kind of angry without a point. So we chose to give him this odd, twisted sense of actually hating a child who is Smooth Jason. But as we see Smooth Jason in this episode, he's kind of easy to hate. He's a little bit hard to handle. So, we like McFly for doing that. But Gary was really just instrumental in bringing the energy that we had envisioned for McFly to take him from the nicest person, the most excited person, which, we kind of see over here. So there's our excited McFly. I mean, look at that smiling guy. Like, he just looks like, that sweater, and he's just ready to help the people out. But then he can change like that in a hat. More interesting things about Mr. McFly. Those glasses that he has, they're fake. He's a fly. His eyes are up here. He's got, I think it's like 5 eyes or something, 4, whatever the heck it is, on the sides of his heads. And obviously each one has like thousands of smaller eyes, I believe. But we wanted to have him be able to connect with the students. And so because he was born in the lab and has, this kind of different look that people probably stared at when he was a kid, he put on these glasses so that people would know where to look when he was talking to them. And you can actually see this in, I think it's, which episode is it? It's the 3rd episode, I believe, Wanted Dead or a Fly, in the order, where he is crying at his desk and he's got his glasses off. Yeah, I mean, that's just like a little inside thing that we have for him. And of course, his mustache is really just kind of the look of the front of his face. But we love Gary, we love McFly. And, initially we kind of had him in a couple of episodes. And then as soon as we saw what he could do in Wanted Dead or a Fly and being able to do that kind of inner pain and rage, and then explore where his inner rage comes from, which is basically being overlooked by everyone in his life, including his family, who doesn't invite him to parties. So let's just enjoy the fire and brimstone of McFly one more time. So that's Mr. McFly. I hope you guys are enjoying these behind the scenes videos. I will continue to post these and share with you some of the behind the scenes stuff from making the show. Thank you so much for continuing to watch Oddballs. If you want to have more from the show, there are free gifts, stickers, and backgrounds like the one behind me available if you do the scavenger hunt on theoddsonesout.com/oddballs, or just go to theoddsonesout.com, click on the Oddballs tab, and you'll see the scavenger hunt there. It's a quick quiz. It'll also reveal some hidden jokes that maybe you haven't seen before. So you get to check those out and get some free gifts. And it puts you in play for possibly being somebody to get some free Oddballs merch. So check it out, do it all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.